student at White River High School.
She looked a lot like the other kids.
But Asa Holmes
was not like the other kids.
6 years ago, her dad died unexpectedly from a heart attack.
Ever since, I've had some minor issues with anxiety.
Her issues were not minor. They were taking over her life.
Did you guys hear about Russell Pickett? They said he was going to be arrested, but then he disappeared.
They're offering a $100,000 reward for any help finding him.
This is Daisy.
The best and most fearless friend since elementary school.
She was really into Star Wars. The movies, I have the hardware. The books, hello there.
General Kenobi!
Even the shows where they were all made out of Legos.
I am your father.
Like,
She wrote fan fiction about Chewbacca's love life.
and this is like
The artsy guy.
currently working on a project based on race and mass incarceration.
Most people think themselves to be the hero of some personal epic, when we are in fact, basically,
Identical organisms.
colonizing a
Vast and windowless room.
that smelled of
Lysol and lard. The school cafeteria.
I was trying to eat my sandwich,
I really was.
but to be honest, I find the whole process of masticating plants and animals
And then shoving them down my esophagus. Kind of disgusting.
so I was trying not to think about the fact that I was eating.
Which is a form of thinking about it.
Did you go to camp with them?
With who?
Davis Pickett.
Yeah? Why?
Aren't you listening?
I was listening.
To the cacophony of my digestive tract.
By cell count,
Humans are approximately 50% microbial.
meaning that about
Half the cells that make you up are not yours at all.
it often seems like I can feel them.
Living and breathing and dying in and on me.
Asa, a billionaire is missing, and you know his kid.
Come on, you can help us get the reward money. Listen to this. Offering a $100,000 reward for any information leading to the whereabouts of the company's CEO, Russell Pickett, who disappeared the night before a police raid on his home. $100,000, and you know his kid. Knew him. For 2 summers, they had gone to SAD camp together.
Which is what they call Camp Spiro. This place for kids with dead parents.
We are so using this connection to get the reward.
I could tell she wanted me to be excited about something, but I couldn't tell what because
My stomach wouldn't shut up.
which had me deeply worried I had somehow
Contracted a parasitic infection.
I pulled out my phone and searched up
Human microbiome. I clicked over to the article about C. diff infections.
scrolled past how they usually start in hospitals,
Down to the list of symptoms.
I didn't have a fever.
Yet,
Ever since Asa was little,
she's pressed her right thumbnail
into the finger pad of her middle finger. So now there's this weird callus over her fingerprint. After so many years of doing this,
she can open up a crack in the skin really easily.
So she covers it up with a Band-Aid to prevent infection.
But sometimes I get worried it's already infected, and so I need to drain it.
And the only way to do that is to reopen the wound and press out any blood that will come.
Once I start thinking about splitting the skin apart,
I literally cannot not do it.
I was breathing the way that Dr. Singh had taught me,
But the thought spiral kept tightening anyway.
I wanted to feel my thumbnail biting into the skin of my finger pad, and I knew the resistance was pointless. So beneath the cafeteria table, I slipped the Band-Aid off my finger and dug my thumbnail into the callus. Until I felt the crack open.
Holmesy, are you okay? Thought spiral. I figured, but hey, I got an adventure planned for us later. You up for it?
Sure. I should have told Daisy that I did remember Davis Pickett. I remember
Sitting next to him on the edge of a dock, our legs dangling over, staring up at a cloudless summer sky.
I would have told her that we didn't talk much or even look at each other. But it didn't matter because
We were looking at the same sky together.
which is maybe more intimate than eye contact anyway.
Anybody can look at you.
It's rare to find someone who sees the same world you see.
Asa should not have been surprised later that evening when Daisy dragged her to Davis Pickett's doorstep.
Asa Holmes? To what do I owe the pleasure?
Hi.
I'm not good at chit-chat.
Try saying what you're thinking. That's something I never, ever do.
Okay, well, I'm thinking I wish she wasn't after the reward.
What reward?
Sorry, it's just a lot of old friends have been in touch the past few days, and I'm not stupid. I know why, but I don't know where my dad is.
The truth is, we heard a news report about your father, and Holmesy here told me she had a crush on you when you guys were kids. Daisy! And I was like, let's go see him. I bet it's true love.
Is that really?
I mean, we were just kids. I really am sorry about your dad.
I really don't know where he is. I'm sure he's fine.
That's when Davis took them to meet
The Tuatara!
This is our zoologist.
She said our zoologist.
As if most people had their own zoologist.
I take care of the Tuatara.
She brought out a large lizard with spikes all down its back and a huge dragon-like tail.
You could pet her if you want.
I don't like lizards.
Tua isn't a lizard at all, but it's a
Genetically distinct creature
that dates back
200 million years.
Basically a living dinosaur.
that can live to be
At least 150 years old.
Are you sure you don't want to pet her?
I'm afraid of dinosaurs.
Holmesy has most of the major fears. Just then,
Davis's little sister ran into the room,
punched him square in the guts and took off,
laughing hysterically.
Gotcha, sucker.
Asa, you remember my sister Nellie? She's been absolutely awful since Dad disappeared. At this point, the best thing he can do for us is to stay gone.
The next day at lunch, Holmesy, you're aglow.
You like him!
I'm not. I don't. I'm not looking to date anyone. You see, the parts of typical romantic relationships that made me anxious included
1. Kissing. 2.
being at a movie theater together and feeling obligated to hold hands.
Even after your hands become all sweaty, and the sweat starts mixing together.
And 3, to the part where they say, "What are you thinking about?" And they want you to be like, "I'm thinking about you, darling." But really, you're thinking about sweat and bacteria
And the Band-Aid on your finger.
Hey, here's a fascinating piece of trivia. Guess who gets Picketts billions if he dies?
Davis and Nellie.
No, the Tuatara.
Wait, what?
The Tua frickin' Tara. I saw it on Twitter.
Hashtag Tua takes it all.
Nothing says screw you two kids, quite like leaving your whole fortune to a lizard.
So, if Davis's dad died,
He and his sister get nothing?
Well, that's irrelevant right now. He's not dead. We're going to figure out where he went.
We reunite the happy family, and then we're getting that reward money.
They scoured the internet for clues, background on the family, police reports, and a deep dive social media stalking. Later, Aza's mother took her to an appointment with Dr. Singh. What are your thoughts on the med situation?
Mom, it's okay, I guess.
Which wasn't quite the whole truth.
For one thing, I wasn't convinced the circular white pill was doing anything when I did take it. And for another, I wasn't taking it
Quite as often as I was supposed to.
Partly, I kept forgetting, but there was something else I couldn't quite identify.
Some way down fear that taking a pill to become myself was wrong.
Just be honest with Dr. Singh, okay? There's no need to suffer.
So, Lisa, how are you?
I feel like I might not be driving the bus in my own consciousness.
Not in control?
Yeah, I guess.
Has there been an uptick in your rumination or intrusive thoughts?
I don't know. They continue to intrude.
When did you put that Band-Aid on?
I don't know.
That was a lie.
After lunch, I mean, I'm still crazy, if that's what you're asking.
There's been no change on the being crazy front.
I've noticed you use that word a lot. Crazy.
Well, I mean, everyone's crazy these days, Dr. Singh.
Adolescent sanity is so 20th century.
Do you feel like like your thought patterns are impeding on your daily life?
Yeah. Like, I'll be at the cafeteria and I'll start thinking about how I'm not a human person so much as this
Disgusting, teeming blob of bacteria.
and how there's
Not really any getting myself clean.
you know? Because
The dirtiness goes all the way through me.
That's not uncommon. Have you been taking your Lexapro?
yeah,
That was a lie.
it freaks me out some to take it, so not every day.
It freaks you out?
If taking a pill makes you different, like changes the way down you, that's just a messed up idea, you know? Who decides what me means? Me or the Lexapro?
Let's talk about a plan to take that medication every single day.
And then Asa started having a thought spiral right there in front of her doctor. My stomach hurts a little.
You don't have C. diff.
I mean,
You don't know that.
my stomach really hurt now. Like, it was twisting in on itself. Like the trillions of bacteria within me were making room for a new species in town. The one that would rip me apart from the inside out. The sweat was pouring out of me.
Asa, should we try breathing exercise?
And so they did.
She said she wanted to see me in 10 days.
You can kind of measure how crazy you are based on how soon they want to see you back.
But through it all, Asa also had a fairly normal life. She went to school, got good grades, binge-watched Friends.
We were on a break.
How you doing?
Michael and Daisy even talked her into
A double date.
After a very awkward dinner, Asa found herself
Walking alone with Davis in his backyard.
You don't talk much, Asa.
I'm never sure what to say.
Try saying what you're thinking. That's something I never ever do.
And then
Asa told him something she had never told anyone.
I started pressing my thumbnail into my fingertip as a way of convincing myself that I was real. As a kid, my mom had told me,
If you pinch yourself and you don't wake up, you can be sure that you're not dreaming.
and so every time I thought maybe I wasn't real, I would dig my thumbnail into my finger and I would feel pain. And for a second, I think, of course I'm real.
My mom was in the hospital for like 6 months after her aneurysm. She was in a coma or something. Sometimes, when I put my hand in hers, she would squeeze. Dad insisted that she wasn't in there anymore, but she was still alive. She was still real. You're real, Asa.
She could feel him looking at her.
She was scared to turn her head toward him, afraid he might try to kiss her, but also hoping he would.
The light pollution is terrible, but just above the trees there, those 5 stars that kind of make a crooked W,
Yeah?
that's Cassiopeia. And the crazy thing is, the star on top, Cap, is 55 light years away. And the Navi, which is 550 light years away. For all we know, Navi blew up 500 years ago.
Wow. So we're looking at the past?
Yeah, exactly. To us, it's all real.
What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking it's too good to be true.
What is?
You.
Oh. And then
It happened.
he leaned in and kissed her gently. It felt nice. It really did. But I immediately started thinking about C. diff and bacteria, and I had to get out of there.
She ran back to the house.
Before she could find Daisy and Michael, Nellie found her. Hey, did you figure it out yet?
What? Davis said you were here to get the reward money.
That you were trying to find Dad.
No, not really. Can I send you something? I took all the notes off Dad's iPhone. They might
honestly, but I can check it out.
Thanks. Davis thinks we're better off with him on the run. But I just want him to come home.
He'll come home soon. It's all right to be scared, Nellie.
Ever since you left, I can't think straight.
I know how that felt. Ever since my dad died.
I've been unable to think straight.
Will you let me know if you find anything out about Dad?
Yeah, of course.
But Asa could not stay in that house for another second. As she raced to her car, all she could think about was bacteria, and holding hands, and kissing, and a little girl's tears all over her.
You should have wrapped that Band-Aid.
What if your finger is infected?
Why not just check?
You don't actually want to do this. It's just an intrusive.
What's that strange feeling in your gut?
He held your hand.
He kissed you.
Time to unwrap the bandage.
It is almost certainly not infected.
But she cried all over you.
You are covered in their bacteria.
Asa slipped off the band-aid. She found some hand sanitizer and squeezed it onto her fingertip. Then she dug her thumbnail all the way into the crack in the callus until it started bleeding. And she squeezed the blood out for as long as it would come.
Relief.
Hey! Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're just gonna leave me in there? You're just gonna drive away and leave me at the giant wizard house?
Sorry.
You know, you could take 3 seconds away from your non-stop freaking contemplation of yourself to think about anyone other than yourself. I mean, I love you and it's not your fault, but your anxiety kind of invites disasters. Asa drove away from Davis and merged onto the highway.
Daisy kept talking, of course.
I mean, Holmesy, you're exhausting.
You're right. I'm a terrible person.
Well, you are extremely self-centered. Like, I know you have the mental problems, or whatever, but they do make you, you know.
Actually, I don't know. They make me what?
You know what I mean. Like, what are my parents' names? What are their jobs? When was this the last time you were at my house? 5 years ago? We're supposed to be best friends, Holmesy, and you don't even know if I have any freaking pets. That you're so pathologically uncurious that you don't even know what you don't know.
Stop talking! You haven't shut up in 10 years. I'm sorry if it's not fun hanging out with me because I'm stuck in my head so much. But imagine actually being stuck inside my head with no way out, with no way to ever take a break because that's how it is!
They slammed into the SUV in front of me. A moment later, something slammed into the car behind.
Asa woke up staring at the ceiling of an ambulance, strapped to a backboard. A man holding an oxygen mask over her face. Sirens distant, a ringing in her ears, and then falling again. Down, down, and then on a hospital bed in a hallway. Mom standing over her, makeup dripping from her red eyes.
My baby, oh Lord! They called me and told me you were hurt, but they didn't tell me if you were. I can't lose you too!
After a CT scan and 100 other tests, doctors determined
Asa's liver was lacerated.
We'll watch you closely for a couple more days so we can make sure your bleeding doesn't increase, in which case surgery will be necessary. But if all goes as planned, within 6 or so weeks, you should be your old self.
Do I need antibiotics?
If we have to do surgery, you would, but as of now, no. A shiver of relief rolled through her. No antibiotics, no
Increased risk of C. diff.
Someone will be by shortly to take you upstairs. But 72% of C. diff cases were contracted in hospitals.
Wait, what do you mean upstairs? No, I cannot stay in the hospital tonight.
Asa, you have to.
No, Mom, really, this is like the one place I absolutely cannot stay tonight, please. No, you have to let me out of the hospital. No, Mom, you have to let me go home, Mom, take me home, no! Don't let me die, Dad. Don't let me die.
Even though Asa was pretty high on morphine, she couldn't sleep. She knew C. diff was invading her body, that it was floating in the air. Full panic gripped her.
See the hand sanitizer mounted on the wall near the door? It's the only way.
Shut up.
You're just gonna sanitize your hands and your mouth.
Please. think about something else.
Stand up.
I hate being stuck inside you.
You are.
I am not!
To be clean.
You can be sure.
I can never be sure.
Stand up.
You want to stand up. You will get up.
And clear your IV card. And pump the hand sanitizer foam into your hands.
Clean them carefully.
And then add more foam to your hands.
And you will put that foam in your mouth.
Swish it around your filthy teeth and gums.
But my liver!
Do you want to die of C. diff?
No, but this isn't rational!
Then get up and wheel your IV card to the container of hand sanitizer mounted on the wall. You idiot!
Please, let me go. I'll do anything.
Stand up.
Drink it!
You want to die of this. Because you will. You will. You will. You will.
You will.
She pulled herself to stand. For a moment, she thought she might faint as the pain blazed through her. She grabbed hold of the IV pole and took a few shuffling steps. Pressed the dispenser, rubbed the foam all through her hands, pressed it again, and shoved a scoop of it into her mouth.
Lisa, what are you doing?
She was embarrassed, but she did it again because she had to. Again and again and again. Asa, stop it! She knew her window was closing. She took one last shot of the foam and shoved it into her mouth, gagging.
I knew how disgusting I was. I wasn't possessed by a demon. I was the demon.
As you might expect, after that night, Asa and Dr. Singh spent a lot of time together.
We need to get you on a different medication. One that works better for you, that you can tolerate, and that you'll take.
None of them work.
None of them have worked yet. Asa, you're going to survive this.
You just have to keep going.
And while she lay in that hospital bed worrying about C. diff,
Daisy came to visit.
Halsey! Oh my god, can I hug you without lacerating your liver?
Listen, I'm really sorry.
Me too. Halsey, you are exhausting, and being your friend is work. But you are also my most favorite person, and I want to be buried next to you. We'll have a shared tombstone. It'll read, Holmesy and Daisy, they did everything together.
Except the nasty.
Do you want me to stop talking yet? Never. So do you just, never stop thinking the same way I never stop talking?
it's like when I look into myself, there's no actual me, just a bunch of thoughts. It's like nesting dolls. You crack one open and there's another and another, but
There's nothing solid inside. Nothing real.
That reminds me of a story my mom tells. So there's this scientist, and he gives a whole presentation about Earth and life on it. At the end, he asks if there's any questions. An old woman in the back raises her hand, stands up, and says,
That's all fine and dandy, Mr. Scientist, but the truth is, the Earth is a flat plane resting on the back of a giant turtle.
and the scientist says,
Then what is the turtle standing upon?
and the old woman says,
It is standing upon the shell of another giant turtle.
Then what is that turtle standing upon?
and the old woman says,
Sir, you don't understand. It's turtles all the way down.
turtles all the way down.
It's turtles all the freaking way down, Holmesy.
You're trying to find the turtle at the bottom of the pile, but that's not how it works.
Because it's turtles all the way down.
She felt something akin to a spiritual revelation. Eventually, Asa returned home. She still worried a lot about C. diff,
But you'll be glad to know she did not contract it while at the hospital.
she still... The next day at school, Daisy had asked her to go to Michael's art show.
Come on, you have to go. It's at Pogue's Run. The tunnels that empty into the White River, isn't that basically just a sewer? Seems like an odd place for an art show.
It's part of this underground art circle that is super exclusive to get into. But I got you both tickets.
And guess what? Russell Picketts' company was hired to expand the tunnels, but never finished. Maybe we can find our clue or something, and that reward money can still be ours!
Or you could come support me on the biggest night of my life.
So, on Friday night,
They admired Michael's artwork.
That is cool. Super interesting, Michael.
And then crept away into the maze of tunnels beneath the city.
Oh my god. Is the smell getting worse? It smells like rotting garbage and unflushed toilets.
Suddenly, the tunnel opens up to fresh air and a spectacular view.
I wonder if they'll finish this thing.
Thanks, Russell Pickett, for your corruption and incompetence.
Wait. Coves Run. Daisy, where does the river start? Where is its mouth?
The mouth of a river is where it ends, not where it begins. This is the mouth. Coves. Run. Holy crap, Holmesy!
We're in the jogger's mouth.
Suddenly, for some reason, it felt like Pickett was right there behind them.
Like he might push them off the edge of his tunnel and into the river below.
Okay, this is starting to freak me out.
Do you think he could be down here? Right now?
Daisy, the smell! Oh, Barb! Let's get out of here!
Asa went straight to Davis's house.
Hey, how have you been?
Davis, your dad. I think I know where the jogger's mouth is.
It's at the mouth of Pogue's Run, where his company had that unfinished project.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. I think he might be down there. Daisy and I were there last night, and
Did you see him?
no, but the run's mouth, the jogger's mouth.
It makes sense.
That was just a note on his phone, though.
Look, I don't want to worry you, but there was a smell.
A really bad smell down there.
That could have been anything.
But she could see the fear on his face.
I never thought. I never let myself think. He's dead, isn't he?
You don't know that.
But he kind of did.
There was a reason there had been no trail and no communication.
He'd been gone all along.
What do I do?
You keep going. 2 days later,
The news broke.
Authorities believe the body of billionaire Russell Pickett was found in an offshoot of the Coves Run tunnel. Pickett likely died of exposure within days of his disappearance.
that's when Davis rang the doorbell. They walked together into her backyard.
My sister and I are moving to Colorado. It's smaller than our current place, but on the other hand, no Tuatara.
When are you leaving?
Tomorrow.
That killed the conversation for a while.
Okay. So, what are we looking at?
Oh, okay, well, there's Jupiter up there, of course. Very bright tonight. There's Arcturus. Oh, and that's Polaris, the North Star. Lisa, I'd like to stay in this instant for a very long time.
Yeah.
She squeezed his hand. He squeezed back. They stared up at the same sky together. And after a while, he said,
I have to go.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Asa.
I thought in that moment that I might love him for the rest of my life.
but underneath those skies, Asa realized
Life is hard.
But if you can just keep going, life is beautiful too.
Day musician. Julia Pendergrass, doctor, news announcer, ensemble.
Emily Witt, zoologist, ensemble. Jersey Dutchaver, Nellie Pickett, ensemble.
Lauren Conley, Dr. Singh, ensemble.
Victoria Dennison, Miss Holmes, ensemble.
Isaac Lyons, Michael Turner, ensemble.
Tessa Mitchell, Deezer Ramirez, ensemble.
Cooper Bate, Davis Pickett, ensemble.
Bethany Van Wassenhoek, narrator, ensemble.
Bethany Lalde, Asa Holmes.